Carpentry and antiques are my passions. Through the years, I have amassed various collections as well as useful woodworking skills. I have learned that just by keeping your eyes open while earning a living, you can learn a lot. I'm always looking for ways to do things differently and deviate from what's conventional. Join me on a journey of education and entertainment through projects and adventures. My name is Tischler, and welcome to my channel. Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of The Passive House. This week, we're still just gonna keep working on finishing some things up before we take a little bit of a break from the series and let the subs come in and do their work. And then we'll be back a little bit later. So I think there might be one more episode after this one, we'll see. But anyways, this week, we've started laying the sleepers down for the floor system that'll go over top of this. And there'll be hydronic lines running in there. So I'll show you a little bit of that. And whatever else we can come up with to finish this week. So follow along and we'll get started here. So right now we've got all our sleepers laying down, and we're just gonna screw them down. And Colin just went to grab the hydronic line, so we'll screw all these down and then we'll run the line in here. And yeah, I'm just starting to screw them down, so I'm not gonna do any, or I'll try not to do any fast forward clips this time, because I know you guys were giving me heck last time for having it too fast, so I'll just show little bits of real-time footage if that works better. I don't want to make it too boring though. So basically what I'm doing is putting a screw into every eye joist, and I can tell where those are because I can see the screws there. And because we're running these perpendicular to them, it's easy to find. So yeah, pretty much just like that for all of those. So we got all of these sleepers screwed off. So now we can begin running our hydronic line. I noticed some questions in the last episode about the holes in the floor and stuff like that. So basically this is going to be the floor that covers all of that. So none of these holes or anything are going to end up being an issue. You'll see. So this is the hydronic line we're using. It's basically just little plastic tubing, and we fasten it to the ground with these clips here. They just clip on and you have a nail that pounds in. So fairly simple. Okay, so we're just working on running the hydronic system in here, getting towards the end. and I'm just gonna let Colin explain to you kind of what the purpose of all this is.
Hi, Austin. Well, it's going to be a short explanation. There's not really a lot to it. It's pretty self-explanatory. This hydronic system sits over top of our super insulated envelope, which is all air sealed with our white glove tape and Vanna tape. And basically, it's just like any other hydronic floor system. We run the loops about 12 inches apart, and then we run our final sheathing system over top of our 2x4 sleepers. Because the requirements of the house will be very minimal, this will be plenty of heat, and it will create a really, really even and nicely warmed environment here for the clients. And one of the reasons we opted for this is there's a big difference between standing on concrete all day and standing on a floor that has a bit of deflection like this floor. So your skeleton gets beat up pretty badly if you stand on concrete all day. And I think in Germany and in other places that were pioneers with these kinds of houses, they ended up pouring a lot of slab on grade foundations, and the main floor in a lot of these dwellings were concrete. But I think that led to a lot of skeletal problems for the clients that moved into these places after 5 or 10 years. So I try to steer my clients a little bit more towards a skeleton-friendly system, and this floor system, although it's a little bit more labor, a little bit more material, I think that in a couple of years they'll be glad that they went this way, just because it'll be more comfortable to walk on and not just even heat, but really, really kind to your joints.
So all the hydronic line is finished. So tomorrow we will come back and sheathe this floor. Okay, so started out today hoping to be able to use the GoPro. I plugged it in last night thinking that that might be the issue. Now all the lights are on and I hold the button and nothing happens. I don't know about this thing. Okay, so we're just working on building up the floor in the bathroom area, and that consists of these strips of plywood holding up a larger sheet of plywood. And the reason for doing this is because the tile is going to be a lot higher than the rest of the flooring. Now I'll just cut some more strips to fill in this area and we should be good for the bathroom. Okay, so while Adam and I were working on that, Colin was working on getting the floor done here, and it's like just the right amount of deflection in the floor. It's not too much, it's not too little, just a nice floor to walk on. So we got these blocks here just so it doesn't sponge down too much in between. Okay, so for this clip, I had to mute it because I forgot to shut the radio off, so I don't want to get another copyright strike. Well, I haven't got a copyright strike yet, just a copyright claim, but too many of those will lead to a copyright strike. And if you get 3 copyright strikes, you can lose your channel. So I want to try and avoid that. But basically what we're doing here is working on sheathing the floor. I just took the measurement I needed and going out to the lift to cut it. So this trick I'm using with the tape measure, that's just a lot handier than snapping a line, and it's actually quite accurate if you know how to do it. You get a perfectly straight line as long as it's a factory end of the plywood. You can use that method no problem. Just saves you a lot of time from snapping a line. And yeah, those center blocks we put in, I think I explained what those are for in the last clip there. Sheet fits nice. And then we just tack it with a couple nails, and then Colin comes and screws it down. And the reason we don't nail it is to avoid squeaks in the floor. So the few nails that we put in aren't going to be an issue as long as there's a screw right beside it holding it down. And then for this side, I think I had to trim one at a goofier measurement because of that jog out. They weren't a perfect 2 foot on center from the wall. This one I was able to find a cutoff to use, which is good. You should always try and keep track of your cutoffs and think about where you can use them. Try and eliminate as much waste as possible. And this tape measure scribing method kind of becomes hard. Like if you're going over 4 feet, it's a big stretch for your arms. Maybe someday I'll do a video on little tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. Okay, so we got quite a bit more of the flooring done here. There's going to be another bathroom here with tile in it as well, so we did the same sort of thing we did over there, except we left 2 feet open on each ends because there's going to be plumbing that will need to be drilled through there, and we want to be able to air seal it. So we just left that off, and yeah, just a little bit more to finish up tomorrow morning. Okay, so we just got the rest of the flooring finished up in here. Just left these areas open because it's going to be tile, and that area because that's going to be the kitchen island. But yeah, well, I think I'm going to leave it there for episode 11. Yeah, this is probably going to be our second last week here for a little while. Just taking the insulation blower back to loose land. And yeah, so we'll come back, finish some stuff up next week, and then it'll be time for the subs to come in, I think. So there'll maybe be like a month break in between episodes, but then we'll be back and starting up doing our work again. So thanks so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.